Good evening, everyone. I call this February 4th, 2026 meeting of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to order. I'd like to welcome our new board member, Councilor Dan Champagne. Welcome. We also want to welcome Los Ranchos trustee Gwen Baldwin, who is not here this evening, but we want to welcome. And who is new to the board but excused this evening. Councilor Dan Lewis is also excused, but all other members are present. So we'd like to take this time for a moment of silence and followed by the pledge. Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we're going to move up item 10D, other business, and we're going to have the election of officers. This is OB 26-4, and we are going to be electing our chair and vice chair. So are there any nominations for chair of the Water Authority Board? I guess it's very telling the way we're seated, right? So, yes.
I would nominate Commissioner Barbara Baca.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second for Commissioner Baca. Are there any other nominations? And I think we have to say it 3 times. Are there any other nominations, or is that not accurate? Not anymore? Okay. I'm thinking of old Robert's Rules of Order. Seeing no other nominations, congratulations, Commissioner Baca. You, by acclamation, you are the new chair. So.
Thank you.
So I'm going to pass this to you just right out the gate. I can finish the nominations, or unless you want to continue. Okay. So next we have vice chair. Are there any nominations for vice chair? I would like to nominate our new counselor on the board, Councilor Champagne.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for Councilor Champagne. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none. By acclamation, you are the new vice chair. Congratulations, Councilor Champagne. And so before we do this, I just want to recognize our commissioner, vice president here on the Water Authority, Commissioner Barbara Baca. I think, she's done an outstanding job, as always. She's not new to the board, so congratulations as vice chair. I think they have provided you with a token of the appreciation.
Cool
yes,
guy.
And so, yeah, and so this year we have 2 gifts, and I hear that Mark wrapped this himself. I said I don't believe it, but hey. And then of course to thank Mr. Morris. I guess he had this 3D. Where are you, David? I don't see you out there. I'm blind. Oh, there you are. These are just absolutely adorable. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And with that, I will turn it over to our new chair.
Thank you, Councilor Pena. And also I wanted to thank you for serving as chair this last year. It's been an honor to serve with you, and thank you for your service. Okay, so here we go. Item 3 on our agenda is the approval of minutes. I make a motion to approve November 19th, 2025 minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that passes. On to item 4, proclamations and awards. We have quarterly employee recognition awards. And I'm going to announce many names and very well-earned awards here. We have a list of them. First, Armida Magallanes, Hudson White, Michelle Chavez, Gregory Zaburo, Jamie Beal. They all receive 8 hours. These employees are recognized for collaborating with the security team to strengthen the Water Authority's protection against future cyber threats. Thank you all. Congratulations. Again, the next award to Armida Magallanes, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Patricia Jones, $200 each. Armida and Patricia are recognized for their leadership in developing the Water Authority's Construction Manager at-Risk Procurement Framework. Thank you. Next, we honor Charles Fernandez and Ivan Cortez, $200 each. Are they here? Charles and Ivan are recognized for their rapid and effective response to a critical server failure that disrupted the water supervisory control and data acquisition system. So great job, thank you. Next, we honor Joshua Griego with a $200 award. Joshua is recognized for his extensive efforts to securely design and implement new Amazon Web Service Cloud environments for the Water Authority. Thank you, Joshua. Next, we honor, with $100 each, a group of folks: Matthew Montano, James Ruiz, Ryan Stewart, Donald Harrison, Randy Baca, Michael Elkins, and David Cedillo. $100 each. Yay. These employees are recognized for their professionalism and teamwork in resolving complex field distribution mapping issues during infrastructure upgrades. Thank you. And next we honor, with $100 each, Jacob Rodas and Eric Madrid. Jacob and Eric are recognized for eliminating a significant safety hazard at Primary Pump House 3. Good job, thank you. Next, we honor, with $50 each, John Vance, Guangui Hong, Clifford Duldulau, so sorry if I'm saying these wrong, Joshua Griego, Eugenia Gutierrez, Zon Rogers, Celeste Rael, Veronica Ramirez, Carl King, Cristela Sanchez, Lisa Santana, Gabriel Urias, Juliana Flores, and Monica Sandoval, $50 each. These employees are recognized for delivering a major upgrade and cloud migration of the Water Authority's critical billing system. Thank you for your work. Next, we honor Robert Williamson with $100. Robert is recognized for his excellence as a trainer and mentor. Robert? Thank you, Robert. Next, we honor Brian Matthews, $100. Brian is recognized for mentoring and training surface water employees to achieve higher state certification levels. Congratulations. Next, we honor, with $100 each, Ross Hurley, Daniel Padilla, Joel Baker, Frederick Montoya, Vincent Tapia, Noah Martinez, and Leonard Marquez. These employees are recognized for their coordinated response during an equipment failure. Congratulations, thank you. And next we honor, with a $50 each, Robert Lucero, Ricardo Vasquez, Juan Sanchez, Derek Baca, Pedro Benitez, James Ruiz, Daniel Garcia, Isaac Hernandez Mendoza, Richard Alderete, Ryan Stewart, Anthony Gabaldon, Tristan Gutierrez, Nathan Segura, and Angelo Martinez. This team, these employees are recognized for their collaborative response to a sanitary sewer overflow incident involving Kirtland Air Force Base. And next we honor Roxanne Landon with $100. Roxanne is recognized for exceptional performance in vendor coordination, purchasing efficiency, and customer service. We honor Leah Gaynor, Deborah Garcia, Destiny Barnard, and Jade Archuleta with $200 each. These employees are recognized for processing and analyzing 511 lead monitoring samples under an expedited schedule for the Water Quality Program. Thank you. And we honor Joanne Paul, Crescenda Lobato, Yolanda Garcia, and Juan Steen for $200 each. These employees are recognized for developing and implementing a modified nitrogen testing method at the Southside Water Reclamation Plant. Thank you. We honor Alexandra Dooley, 8 hours. Alexandra is recognized for her professionalism and contributions to improving inventory management at the Water Quality Laboratory. And finally, an 8-hour award for Jade Archuleta and Destiny Barnard. Jade and Destiny are recognized for their professionalism, reliability, and positive interactions with clients and staff. And just another round of applause. Thank you all very much. Great employees at the Water Utility. Wonderful. Thank you. And lastly, Innovator of the Year Award goes to Nick Lucas. Yes? So, I'm sorry. Did I get that wrong?
The PDF? There we go. Perfect.
Oh, presented by Nick Lucas.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm new.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Nick Lucas, and I'm the training administrator here at the Water Authority. I want to begin by thanking the board for this opportunity to talk about the Water Authority's Innovation Initiative and to present this year's Annual Innovation Award. Being a water utility can often bring unique and difficult challenges. Fortunately, we have some very smart and talented employees working for us that can meet these challenges using some very innovative solutions. Many of these employees have been recognized in our iStars program over the years, just like we did just a moment ago. I'm honored to chair the Water Authority's Innovation Committee, and last year we awarded the first ever Annual Innovation Award. We have been tasked with keeping this momentum going to encourage our employees to continue with their creative solutions. And this evening, I'm pleased to announce the committee's selection for the 2025 Innovator of the Year. This award is given to an employee or a group of employees whose unique idea and solution had the biggest impact on the benchmarks you see on this slide. Notice that these 5 criteria cover a wide range of areas, from impacts to our ratepayers to solutions that support, encourage our employee wellness and safety. And with that, I'm excited to announce to the committee, to announce that our committee has selected Kelsey Bicknell as the recipient of the 2025 Annual Innovation Award. Kelsey is currently the environmental manager in our Water Resources Division and recently celebrated her 4-year anniversary here at the Water Authority. I also want to recognize that Kelsey recently earned her professional engineering license as well. Kelsey's Innovation Award includes an ornament commemorating her unique idea that was implemented, as well as a cash award in the amount of $750. Now, I'd like to briefly explain why Kelsey was selected for the 2025 Annual Innovation Award. Last spring, workers at the San Juan Chama Surface Water Treatment Plant were performing maintenance on 2 settling ponds that included removing over 140,000 tons of sediment that had built up over time, which can limit the amount of water the ponds can hold. At the time, the plant was shut down while this maintenance was performed, and getting these ponds clean had to happen quickly so that the plant could begin making water again. It was discovered as the project was underway that all of the water in one of the settling ponds needed to be removed. Kelsey was instrumental in identifying where the water could be drained. Her solution was to pump the water into a nearby irrigation channel and to some athletic fields at Sandia Prep. With the help of our engineering division, a plan was quickly developed and implemented, and the San Juan Chama Surface Water Treatment Plant was back online in a short period of time. So once again, I want to ask everyone to congratulate Kelsey. She is the 2025 Innovation Award winner. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Any questions we might have? All right. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Kelsey. We move on to item 5, public comment. Ms. Salas, do we have anyone signed to speak?
We don't have anyone signed up to speak this evening.
I know that Ms. Elaine Hebert has sent in comments, and she said she will be late. I do want to apologize that we have some members that need to leave early, so we're just going to move forward, and thank you for that, Ms. Hubbard. Item 6, announcements and communications. The next scheduled meeting of the Water Authority Board will be March 18th, 2026 at 4 p.m. in City Council Committee Room and at 5 p.m. in these Vincent E. Griego chambers. Item 7, introduction of legislation. We have A7A R26-3, introduction and immediate action. This is an amendment to the approved operating and capital implementation program budgets of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. I need a motion and a second to suspend the rules and consider this item for immediate action.
So moved.
Second. It's moved by and seconded. Let's see, this resolution will be presented under approvals. So we need a vote to approve that agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And so that Item 8, consent agenda. Mr. Sanchez, do we need to have anything to talk about on the consent agenda? I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye?
Yes.
And that passes. Thank you. We move on to item 9, approvals. 9A R26-1, acknowledgement of the FY 2025 audit and annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 and 2024. Martha Ortiz.
Good evening. Good evening, Madam Chair and respective board members. Excuse me. I'm here to present R26-1, which acknowledges the FY25 audited financials for the Water Authority. ending 2025 and 2024. We do comparative statements. A brief update of the results of the audit. We had a clean audit opinion. No material weaknesses or significant deficiencies were noticed. We had one item where we had a travel duplicate, $50, so we had a small finding, but that's been resolved since the audit's been performed. On the finance side, we had a strong year. We ended up with 811 million fund balance, net position, excuse me, and our operating revenues increased to 278 million. So we had a strong year financially. We also had a decrease in our liabilities, about 56 million, and we're paying off debt. Our debt portfolio continues to improve, and we're maintaining our debt coverage as well. We also made progress on our CIP program, so that's reflected in the audit as well. Also recognized is 2 awards in the audit, one being the FY 2024 audit. We got a GFOA recognition for that, as well as our budget for FY 26. We're going to continue to look forward and rely on our 10-year financial plan and our decade plan documents. And we're also doing a cost of service study this fiscal year, so that will be addressed in a future meeting. So in essence, the audit was very strong and supportive. Staff recommends approval, and if you have any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. I move approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Congratulations, very good
Thank you.
news. All those in favor? Aye?
Yes.
And that passes. Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. Item 9B, R26-2, authorizing the removal of certain uncollectible accounts from the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority accounts receivable records FY 2021 and prior. Susan Lander.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. This item before you is we're seeking approval to remove uncollectible debt that is older than 4 years, and this amount is $35,964.15. And per state statute, we are permitted to write off any uncollectible debt, and that's recognized as debt that we've tried over the last 4 years to collect. We've been unsuccessful, and we deem that it is uncollectible. And one of the major advantages of this is it helps to clean up our accounts receivable, and we're not overstating our accounts receivable. So we recommend approval of this, and I stand for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Lander.
Madam Chair, I move approval.
Do I have a second? Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I have a question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Could you describe what the Water Authority does for collections? I just want to make sure that folks know that it isn't that we sat and didn't do the work to attempt to collect over the 4 years.
Right. If it's it's mostly water and sewer accounts, and we do send out notices. A customer gets their bill every month, so we send out notices. When we notice that an account is delinquent, we send out additional notices. If we do cut off service, if it reaches a certain threshold, and try to collect that way. Ultimately, if the bill remains unpaid, like if the property's vacant or we can't locate the property owner, we can put a lien on the property. And so we do actively do collections over the 4-year period. But at that point, we just, cut off and say we can't do anymore.
Madam Chair, so we do everything in-house? We don't
Yes.
use any collection agency?
No, we do not.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Councilor Sharp.
just out of curiosity, how many are we talking about here?
How many accounts?
Yeah, yes. Do we know right offhand?
I do not know. I have the dollar amounts. I do
Just
not know
okay.
the number, but I can get that for you if you like.
And Madam Chair, has there ever been any liens placed on any of these accounts, or
Yes, we do actively have liens on,
mechanic lien, or whatever it's labeled as, but yeah.
I'm not sure what type of lien it is. Chris, do you know?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Champagne, we place a municipal lien against the property. However, there is a limitations period against which we can collect that. And when they expire, I think it was referenced that these are multiple years old. And so in many of these instances, it's because the lien expired before we were able to collect against it. We don't actively go after foreclosure of municipal liens just because the cost of doing that usually exceeds the value of the lien. We'll wait for the property to change hands in order to try to make that collection. And so these represent properties that did not occur within that time frame for.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Rivas.
So I'm going to continue that line of thought about the liens. So do they expire after 4 years and so we're clearing them out, or does the lien stay around but we're just cleaning the books, and when the property is sold, do we then go in and collect?
Madam
Chair, Commissioner Olivas, so a lien will remain sort of a cloud on the title, if you will, within the county's real property records until it's released. If a lien exists, and it's going through title will usually note its age, in which case there's not usually a title issue. However, in some instances, we will go out and clear a lien if requested related to transactions. If a lien is discovered on one of these properties and it comes back to us and we haven't cleared it and we've discovered that we've deemed the collection uncollectible, then it would be released at that time. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor?
Yes.
And that passes. Thank you, Ms. Lundy. Item 9C, R26-3, amendment to the approved operating and capital implementation program budgets of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. Ms. Ortiz.
Thank you, Madam Chair and respective board members. This resolution, R26-3, is a mid-year amendment to the FY26 operating and CIP program budgets. Because the board didn't meet in December and January, we have several items that need immediate action. These amendments are to revenues and expenses based on the actual mid-year performance. And we're providing the need to fund to ongoing projects, so there's no delay in those projects. The listed adjustments were in your packet. There's quite a few. I won't go into details, but if you have any questions, please let me know. But this is, we recommend approval of these items to continue our progress through the end of the fiscal year.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. I move approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions from Ms. Ortiz?
Thank you.
Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Yes.
And that passes. Thank you. Item 9D, C26-1, FY26 second quarter financial report. Susan Mander.
Hello again. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm here to present the financial report, performance scorecard, and goals and objectives for fiscal year 2026, our second quarter. And we'll start off with our revenues. And through the second quarter, we've received $129.6 million, which is about 50% of budgeted revenues. And our revenues are tracking in line with our expectations, but we will continue to monitor these through the end of the fiscal year. And one of the factors that affects our revenues is the consumption. And as you can see, we give various numbers for the activity of the number of accounts and the consumption. And as we are tracking it, we do see that consumption is about 5.3% lower from the same time last year. So even though it's lower, it's not a great percentage. And so that's why we see revenues are still tracking with our projections. For our general fund expenses, Through the second quarter, we've expended $156.8 million, which is 59% of the budget. So we're a little above the 50% mark. But a lot of our larger expenses are front-loaded in the fiscal year. So in July, we make our annual insurance payments, we make our debt service payments, and we also have a lot of our larger IT contracts that are paid in July. So some of our expenses are front-loaded, and then we see as the year goes on, then our expenses fall more in line during the quarters. Looking at some of our financial targets, we did open the year with a strong working capital balance of $58.5 million. And we still maintain our reserve balance of $11.2 million. And we have various reserves set up for emergency expenditure needs, unexpected risk claims, and some requirements for the soil amendment facility that the state has maintained a reserve for. Currently, through the second quarter, our days cash is 340 days, which is up from 240 days in the first quarter, and we're just shy of our target of 350 days. So we consider if the rest of the year keeps going the way it is, that we will meet our target by the end of the fiscal year. Next up is our debt service coverage ratios. And you can see we have our policy minimums, 1.33 for senior lien and 1.20 for senior and subordinate lien. Currently through the second quarter, our senior lien is at 2.35 and the senior subordinate lien is at 2.10. So our coverage ratios are very strong through the second quarter. Our debt obligations this year are about $88.9 million, and our total outstanding debt is $510.6 million. Moving on to our capital funds, our FY26 CIP budget is currently $299.2 million, and that includes carryovers from prior years of unspent. This year we have spent $48.2 million, or 16%, and then we also have additional encumbrances or commitments to pay of $113.1 million. So we're chugging along on our capital projects very well. Okay, next up are our cash and investments. And as you can see, we have in our investment policy, we have 3 priorities, which are safety, liquidity, and then yield. Through the second quarter, our total cash and investments total $262.4 million, and that includes new money of $90 million from the debt that we received, the loan that we received from NMFA in October. Our investment income in quarter 2 was $1.6 million, and we paid $597,000 in banking and merchant fees during that same period. Next up is our performance scorecard, which measures indicators throughout the various areas of the Water Authority. And you can see our actuals to date and our target. And you can see on all the measures, we're either at our target, or the blue squares mean that we're not currently there, but we expect to be at our target by the end of the fiscal year. And a lot of these measures, the target, it'll take all year for us to get to the target. So next up are our goals and objective results. And we picked one objective from each of our 5 goal areas to discuss this evening. And the first up is for water supply and operations. The objective is to improve the monitoring and trending of the total organic compound concentration and removal across the water treatment plant to better predict the potential disinfection byproduct formation in the distribution system. This is a new goal for this fiscal year, and we set up specific sample points. As you can see, we're measuring a point the source water in, the source water out, and then the average removal. And by tracking these measures, it'll allow us to assess the seasonal TOC trends and removal metrics. And this way we can see if there's any adjustments we need to make in our processing. For Goal 2, wastewater collection and operations, the objective is to manage the chemical usage and residual iron sludge from the water treatment plant to manage the collection system corrosion and odor control. And as you can see, we have various tasks to provide this corrosion and odor control at the least cost, to evaluate feeding certain chemicals in certain areas in the system, and then also perform studies and look at results and see where we can possibly use different chemicals, use less amounts of the chemicals, and also at the same time finding ways to save money and not increase costs. Because chemicals are one of the largest expenses that we have in the Water Authority, so this is a really important objective for us to try to control our costs. For customer services, one of our objectives was to review policy changes for the low-income credit program to enhance financial assistance for our low-income households. We want to increase the proactive communication with customers about the assistance programs we offer, and also involve more external partners in this program. And you can see we're progressing very well with our assigned tasks for this. For Goal 4, business planning and management, our objective is to seek to increase renewable and green energy generation at Water Authority facilities. And this specific measures at our water reclamation plant, and we're looking at the power that's generated from the on-site solar array and from the digester gas-fueled cogeneration engines that we have down at the plant. And we had set a goal of 35%, and you can see for both quarters we've exceeded that. And our final goal is organizational development. And this objective is to complete 2 employee wellness challenges per fiscal quarter that focus on nutrition, physical activity and weight loss, and disease and injury prevention to employees with a 70% or greater overall completion rate. And as you can see, we have been having 2 challenges per quarter. First quarter, we had the plank challenge and then the squat challenge. And for quarter 2, we had a maintain or lose it challenge that went through the holidays. And then also a 10 days of Christmas challenge, which kind of focused more on mental wellness and kind of giving back during the holiday season. So as you can see, we have a great completion rate for all of the challenges. And that's it for my presentation. I stand for any questions or comments.
Thank you, Ms. Lander. Any questions? Yes, Dr. Single.
Thank you very much. Looking back, sorry, I'm scrolling back as fast as I can. In the Goal 3 customer service, I know you covered 3.1, but I was noticing in 3.2, it talks about working with partner organizations to identify some coordination of automated data related to the low-income credit program. And I just wondered if, just for, not tonight, I don't think you should have to answer this on the spot, but if you could share with us what organizations we're working with, I would like to be, I'm interested in learning who we're working with.
Okay, sure. I'll get with our customer services manager and have her provide that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Lander.
Thank you.
Final on approvals 9E, C26-2, contract with Wells Fargo Bank, NA for fiscal agent services. Candida Kelcourse? Yes.
Madam Chair, members of the board, my name is Candida Kilgore. I'm the purchasing officer for the Water Authority. This item is requesting approval to enter into contract with Wells Fargo to continue to provide our fiscal agent services. We'll be utilizing the City of Albuquerque's RFP that they awarded just now in January, and it's for a 5-year agreement. Our CFO Marta's here if we have any questions about the services that they're providing, but other than that, I will stand for any other questions.
Any questions, information? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved
Thank
and
you.
seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Yes.
That passes, thank you. And then to item 10, other business. These are information-only items. 10A, OB 26-1, Capital Improvement Program Update. David Laughlin. Welcome.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, thank you for this opportunity to present to you. My name is David Laughlin, a Division Manager for Centralized Engineering. Very excited to kind of give you guys some high-level and then some in-depth looks at some of the CIP projects that we have ongoing here at the Water Authority. As you can imagine, being the largest water and wastewater utility in the state, with thousands of miles of water line, sewer line, lift stations, reservoirs, well sites, our 80 million gallon water treatment plant and our 76 million gallon wastewater treatment plant, there's a lot of needs. So very excited to familiarize you guys with some of the projects that we're working on. First and foremost is just sort of a summary of our budget so far in FY26. Currently, we had a $70 million budget in FY26 and some significant rollover funds. And so far in FY26, we've encumbered $65 million, so we have $65 million worth of work under contract, as well as another $32 million spent as of January 2026. So we're doing well with the budget that we have, about halfway through, and we have about half of that budget left, so we're in good shape there. The areas of focus that we continue to perform a lot of our projects related to include our interceptor sewers. As many of you know, a lot of our large diameter sewers are all concrete. Many of them are from 1960s, 70s. They're very old. And so as they continue to age and corrode, we've got ongoing needs that we continue to fulfill within our system. In FY26, we completed interceptor rehab on Isleta Boulevard, Viola Avenue, Griegos Road, and then we're currently working on Lift Station 20 force main replacement, which I'm going to talk about in detail a little bit later in this presentation. We're also working on reservoirs and wells. We have a reservoir CMAR contractor on board. I'm going to show one of the reservoir rehab projects that we're working on, as well as a lot of well and pump rehab. As many of you know, during the summertime, we operate almost entirely on groundwater when our water treatment plant is not operational, when there's no water in the river. And so certainly that well and pump rehab is very important as we need it desperately in the summertime during our high demand season. So at our SWRP facility, we're working on primary clarifiers, digesters, aeration basins, and a lot of electrical upgrades here in FY26. At our water treatment plant, we completed our ponds dredging project, sulfuric acid tank rehab, polymer tank rehab, and granular activated carbon filter replacement is ongoing in FY26 as well. And then at our west side, and then we have our west side Bosque water reclamation plant project, which is under design right now, with targeting construction starting at the end of FY28, FY27, early part of FY28, and going through FY30 to FY31. So we're working hard on getting design done in the next 18 months, and then beginning to move into construction on that west side satellite wastewater treatment plant. So some of our priority rehab projects. In the past, I've kind of gone through these and I've just sort of read them off, and I think they were maybe a little bit boring. So what I wanted to do today, I've highlighted some of the critical projects. You can see the dots all across Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. I wanted to focus on 3 or 4 specifically and give you guys a little bit of a picture of the type of work that we're doing out there on these different projects. So the first one that I'd like to focus on is that little green dot up in the northwest. That is our Volcano Cliffs Arsenic Treatment Facility. And that is a $32 million treatment plant project. When it is completed, it will allow us to access 17 million gallons of additional water supply on the west side, which will be critical during the summer months. So it's a very important, very exciting project from a strategic water supply standpoint. What you can see, the picture in the top left is just a picture of the concrete masonry unit building facility that's been constructed. That's from a couple of months ago. Also from a couple of months ago, as you move clockwise, you can see the arsenic treatment vessels being installed inside the facility. And then as of about a month and a half, 2 months ago, you can see in the lower left corner the piping going in and sort of construction moving forward on the interior piping and process work. We're currently working on electrical. This is a project that's managed by Jane Rael, one of our project managers, supported extensively by Ege Richardson, our chief engineer, Amelia Simmons, one of our other project PMs, and then a lot of collaboration with our plant groundwater staff. And then finally, on the lower right, you can see a new ingress and egress so that trucks will be able to get in and supply and perform change out of the media associated with this arsenic treatment facility. Priority rehab project number 2 that I wanted to highlight is K. It's also on the west side, and that is our West Mesa Reservoir Rehab Project. We're spending probably somewhere between $5 and $10 million annually on reservoir rehab. It's very important for us. We have a lot of older concrete tanks as well as a lot of steel tanks that need ongoing maintenance and rehab. So this is a project that kind of developed organically over the last probably 18 to 24 months. We had noticed that the valve vault outside this reservoir was continuously full of water. We didn't know where that water was coming from. We weren't sure if it was a leak on the transmission line that comes in and out of this reservoir, or whether it was the reservoir itself. And so ultimately what we determined was that there were problems with the joints inside this concrete reservoir. And so that box that you, that box that you see there, I'll show you some pictures, but ended up being some of the major issues associated with this particular reservoir. We had leakage coming from the reservoir going into the subsurface and then infiltrating into this valve vault, and then we saw the water. And so, as you can see from the top left, that's the water inside the vault that kind of gave us the first indication that we had some issues in this particular reservoir. We subsequently excavated on both sides of that vault, and so if you move to the right, you can see that's a trench box. As we began our excavation, that excavation was filling up with water, indicating an issue. We ultimately basically drained the reservoir, and as you can see, the bottom 2 pictures show some of the concrete floor panels in that reservoir, and you can see the damage associated with the joints. Ultimately, we worked with our CMAR contractor that was able to provide us with some excellent remediation options, rehab options, and so we're actively under construction. We have a very short time frame, as you all know, with till we get to our high demand season. So the work is being expedited pretty aggressively. Those concrete panels have been removed. They're in the process of being replaced. We had to perform some subgrade rehabilitation to ensure that we don't have voids underneath the reservoir floor, and then we'll have this reservoir back in service before the high demand season, so by the end of April. Project number 3 I wanted to talk about was our sewer force main rehab project, which is our Lift Station 20 force main rehab. This is a project, many of you are aware, you probably saw this in the news. Over the last 3 years, we had 2 breaks. I guess let me back up just a little bit. So if you look at the, If you look at the profusion of purple and blue lines, sort of, can you see right there? Yeah. So this is our lift station 20. This is our largest lift station in our wastewater system. It pumps about 20 million gallons of wastewater from the entire west side of Albuquerque. This is the source of delivery for all of that collected wastewater. It gets pumped through two force mains that go along Harrison Middle School, come up, and then go across the river. We had breaks on both force mains approximately 18 months apart, and so we basically had to expedite a design and construction project that's replacing those two force mains, and we're adding a third force main. And so this project is currently at about $15 million. We're going to be replacing the two existing force mains. Right now we have an above grade pipe that's carrying all of our sewage from the west side over to the wastewater treatment facility. So that is our bypass, if you will, right now, while we're then excavating, removing, and replacing the existing force mains. So this is phase one. This is going to get all the piping replaced on the west side of the river. And we're also including rehab of the pipe that runs underneath the river. And that's all going to be part of phase one. And then phase two is going to be replacing or internally lining and rehabbing the pipe on the east side of the river that runs to and through the wastewater treatment plant. And that's going to be another $15 or $20 million worth of work. So these are just some pictures of the construction that's ongoing right now. This project should wrap up in summer of 2026. And it's been a pretty challenging project. Luckily, we've got some really good partners. TLC is our contractor. Angelo Martinez and John Ertzgard are our project managers for this project. And then a ton of collaboration with our field collection staff, and Mark Holstad. So it's been a great project. It's expensive, but it's absolutely critical work because this is the only delivery point for wastewater from the west side to the east side. And then lastly, we've got our Coors and Rio Bravo emergency. We have these planned projects, and then from time to time we get these fire drill emergencies that we have to deal with as well. And this was a recent one. It was a pretty big one. This is our 54-inch interceptor near Rio Bravo and Coors. We had about 700 feet of 54-inch pipe that collapsed. And these are just a couple of pictures. As you can see, that picture on the left, that's one of the collapsed pipes, just basically filled with soil from the collapse. These 54-inch concrete pipes typically are 3 to 4 inches thick, and that picture on the right shows you what the top of that pipe, the thickness of the top of that pipe. It was about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick. So that's all that's left of the crown of that pipe. And so we've been doing ongoing bypass pumping for about a month and a half. We're working aggressively to get a design and to slightly relocate that pipe out of some of the private properties that it's currently in. And so all of that work is ongoing. And then as soon as we have all of our ducks in a row in terms of easements and design alignments and elevations, we'll be working with our contractor TLC to go ahead and get that pipe installed and completed. So we're still several months away from having this emergency resolved. And then I just thought I would show next time there's 4 more projects that I'll kind of highlight. And if there are any projects that the board would like to see, I'd be more than happy to do a deeper dive on some of those projects. So, and with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Laughlin. Any questions or ideas for Mr. Laughlin? Oh, Commissioner Baca, yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for, as a comment in regards to the Lift Station 20 project at Harrison, I just want to express my appreciation for your responsiveness, your team's responsiveness in terms of educating myself and other members of the community about that project. When it came to my attention, I had not heard of it. I drive by that area pretty much on a daily basis. I had no idea that these two breaks had occurred, and they also parallel to the South Valley Little League. And I think those leaks were, as it turned out, as we learned, were handled, appropriately. We had questions about that, or community members had questions, but I think ultimately it proved to be, satisfactory, my understanding and your explanation. And just in terms of educating me about that project and reassuring me so I can reassure community members that it was being handled was very much appreciated. I do have a question, just in terms of your inspection process and procedure. We're talking a lot about major projects, which obviously get reviewed regularly. Just in terms of the small streets, residential streets, can you kind of just, educate me on how you approach that?
How we, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, Commissioner Baca, how we address the inspection part of that work?
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of inspecting and determining whether or not there could be a problem.
The quality control?
Right.
Yes. So for planned projects, we've already identified that there's an issue, right? We know that it's either a function of age or break history associated with a particular pipe. But then during construction, we utilize not only our internal inspectors to inspect the quality of the work that our contractors are doing and make sure that we're getting what we paid for in terms of the rehab. And then we also utilize, typically our design engineers will also provide a qualified inspector that we utilize throughout the project to document the work, to ensure that we're getting proper, that the contractor's meeting the specifications of that particular project, that he's installing the pipe where it's supposed to be, at the proper elevations, et cetera. And so we utilize inspectors pretty extensively, both internal as well as through our consultants to make sure that we get a quality product.
If I may mention, for example, I just received a constituent inquiry literally this week about a sewer line on their street. It's a dead-end street. It's a very short street, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know how accurate it is in terms of his concerns regarding it being corroded. I don't even know how he would know that, although he is a contractor, so I suspect he has some, basis for that. And so these small streets, according to him, that line has been there for 30 years or 40 years or whatever, long period of time. Would that typically be something that you would, there would be ways for you to go out and inspect, or just rely on, anecdotal information provided to you, or how, just?
Typically, a lot of times we already have CCTV inspection of our sewer pipes. We work to inspect at least 5% of our sewer lines every year. And so we have kind of a pretty good history of that. So we likely have some idea of the condition of that pipe. And then frankly, if we don't, if we happen to not have that, our collections group has internal CCTV crews that can simply go out and very quickly inspect a segment or, manhole to manhole segments of a pipe.
Okay, I'll have one I'll send to you tomorrow.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Oh, thank you, Mr. Laughlin.
Thank you all.
Appreciate your thorough report. Item 10B, we are going to postpone and move the educational overview and update to the March meeting. And so we'll move to item 10C, OB 26-3, water report. Mr. Mark Kelly, welcome.
Okay, you guys will have to see that next month. All right. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Mark Kelly. I'm the Water Resources Division Manager. And every month I give the water report where we look at our drought triggers as well as production data. In the drought map on the left, we look at the drought severity and coverage index. And the drought severity and coverage index for Bernalillo County is currently at 269. Our drought threshold, where we start our preliminary drought measures, is when that gets over 300. So we are under that level right now. In December, where we last have our supply data, groundwater production was about 16% of usage, and surface water production was very high at 84%. Some of our other metrics that we use for drought planning and measures are the groundwater pumping versus the goal. We are under the threshold of 120%, currently at 112%. And our GPCD, our gallons per capita per day, is at 124, which is well below our 133 goal. When our GPCD starts getting above where we want it to be, that goal level in our groundwater pumping getting over 120%, we also start in with the various increasing drought measures. But for right now, we're looking good. In terms of where we've been in the past, you know, in the 90s, Albuquerque had a GPCD at around 250. We've cut that by more than half this last year, coming in at 124, which I'm happy to say is one GPCD less than last year, which is 125. And it is also our second lowest GPCD ever. We've only had one other year with a lower GPCD, which was 2019. And if you'll remember, 2019 was very wet. So I think our customers have done a really good job of conserving water in 2025. And you know, we're trying to get down to 110 GPCD by 2037. That represents our conservation goal that is in our Water Resources Management Strategy, Water 2120. You know, but we have all been living through, I think, this very dry winter, though, and that has been reflected in the snowpack. This is a map or a chart of snowpack in the Upper San Juan. These are the basin that the San Juan Chama watersheds are in that provide our surface water flows. And this basin is currently at 42% of normal. And, you know, it's getting there in the lowest quintile of measurements. The blue line on here represents where we were last year. So last year, we remember that was a pretty dry year in terms of snowpack. And this year is looking even drier than that. Similarly, the snow water equivalent in the Upper Rio Grande, it looks a little bit better in this basin than last year, but that is still at 47% of normal for about the last 20 years. So looking to be another dry year in terms of snowpack. Hopefully, though, things can change. You know, February and March is when historically most of the snow does come in. But when we look at our seasonal temperature and precipitation outlook for the next 3 months, we're looking to have the chances are above 50% that we're going to be higher than normal in terms of our temperature and below normal in terms of our precipitation chances. So that represents the water report, and I will stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Any questions, Mr. Kelly? No. Commissioner Olivas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. I just kind of want to know, you didn't put it in your presentation, maybe you could in the future, but I've been paying attention to the compact, the Middle Rio Grande compact deliveries, and you know, I believe that we're trending closer and closer to that red line, and just kind of wondering where we're at, or maybe you can give us an update on that next time.
Well, the Madam Chair and Commissioner Olivas, Rio Grande Compact is looking to be around 130,000 acre feet in debit right now. They're going to be doing the final accounting in March for the last year. The red line is 200,000 acre feet, so it is you know, 130,000 out of 200,000 towards the red line. The Water Authority does, provide benefits, I think, to the state in terms of the Rio Grande Compact with all of our return flows that are coming out of our Southside Water Reclamation Plant every day going down the river. And also, we pump groundwater that affects the river, but the Office of the State Engineer figures out what those river effects are, and the Water Authority pays those back if needed. Sometimes our return flows from the plant are enough, but sometimes we have to release a little San Juan Chama water. And we also do that at the most advantageous time of the year that it gets down to Elephant Butte in the wintertime for expediency as well. So I think in terms of the compact, the state is being helped out a lot by the Water Authority to make those deliveries.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly and Madam Chair. And just to follow up on that, I'm just, I think that's something we've all got to pay attention to. I know the folks in this room definitely are. And I think we're more part of the solution than the problem there. But, I think that's going to be a big change for our region when it happens. I don't believe it's really a question of if. The climate and hydrologic reality is that we are going to go into compact violation. And, we've seen that litigated on the lower Rio Grande, which is, probably even more challenged than the middle, but it's also perhaps less complicated. I'm kind of making some qualitative judgments there that I, could be argued. But I just think, we're looking at the state trying to retire tens of thousands of acre feet of water rights in the lower. And I think, a similar thing is going to happen in the middle. It has to. So there's nothing we can do about it at this point. I think the trajectory is set and the climate is sending us there. But just something we should pay attention to and think about as we make policies in our respective jurisdictions that, water affects everything we do. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Olivas. Any other questions? Thank you for your sobering report. Appreciate it. And with that is the end of our meeting. We've already mentioned March 18th is our next meeting, and so this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.